Or coffee.
Switch inputs again.
I don't understand. Hi, everyone. Sorry about that. I was just saying that the last we left off, our band of adventurers who have come together as a group as of now made their way from the Seameat Canal down through the sea toward the capital city of Argyll, Red Hawk Keep. Along the way, though, in an attempt to fish, River snagged himself a shark. But what he didn't realize is that another predator in the seas came for that shark and bashed the boat alongside it. So he and Bonnie had to make an emergency pit stop. Thankfully, one of their little pit stops was close by, but Captain Badger had insisted that the members of the party that were not members of the crew officially be kind of kept out of the way. And so the party was asked to remain within the sleeping quarters while they were at this particular little pit stop. And after some repairs had been made and some interesting facts learned, the ship set sail once more and landed in Red Hawk Keep without any further incident. Upon getting to Red Hawk, though, River made it very clear that it was not safe, and so the entire group he ushered out of the space, out of the city before nightfall. This way, they didn't have to spend much more time here than was necessary, insisting it wasn't safe. And thus, camping outside the city of Red Hawk Keep, in the hills of the country of Argyll, our party members awake on a new day. The 7 of them together. And that is where we begin our tale tonight. It's chilly in the hills. A little chillier than most springs that maybe some of you are familiar with in the Guira archipelago. The archipelago can be cold, could be windy, but this still has remnants of winter clinging to it. In some places, you can see in the mountains that there is still quite a bit of snow. And Kinwin and River, you would know that passing through the mountains during the winter is near impossible without some kind of air support. And while the country is not destitute, it isn't flush with the new technologies such as airships and other arcane modes of travel. It's still a lot of cart travel, still a lot of animals of burden, still a lot of ways in which one must trudge through these spaces on foot. And some of those canyons don't dip very low. Some of them get very snow-filled very quickly during the winter. But since you do have to pass through the mountains in order to get across to the Surefall Glades, it might be a somewhat long trek. But the nearest cities between here and there are Tri Point and Ponte Macera, both of which do have mountain passes beyond them to get to the Twilight Grove on the other side. So, what do you do?
Uh, Question.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how anybody else is doing on rations, but do we have an opportunity for hunting and foraging?
You certainly can. It's going to take time out of your travel, though.
Okay.
So instead of maybe making it an 8-hour travel day, you can make it a 6-hour travel day and have 2 hours to forage and hunt.
Yeah.
With
My knowledge of the land and the ability to turn difficult terrain into normal terrain, I should be able to lead the group through Kino's Hills shorter than following that path down to the road.
mm-hmm. The Kitos Hills kind of spans the whole entirety of the base of the mountains, and so going through the hills isn't necessarily all that difficult. It's the mountain passes that are the difficult terrain. It's tall
Okay, yeah.
peaks and shallow canyons because you have to climb pretty high in order to get through them in some places.
We also have
But the
to.
hunting also sounds good too.
Mm-hmm. I think Vanya, as a ranger, can assist in foraging and hunting. Yes, you have
Yeah.
an ability that makes that easier to do.
I believe my favored terrain would allow that.
Okay, what's your favorite terrain?
Forest.
The hills would be considered forest.
Oh, there we go.
Sure.
And then, if necessary, I am proficient in nature, if that helps.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
Just wanted to make everybody aware that we only have 12 days rations left for Clip and Clop.
Okay.
So we've got to make sure that our, I don't know if they're donkeys, mules, whatever, are,
Donkeys.
Mules. Either
mules.
one.
Oh, the mules? Okay.
Yeah.
If need be, we can just feed them some good berries.
True enough.
The nice thing about being a druid is that you can create 10 good berries out of one casting of a spell. And they don't spoil. So.
Lovely.
Would the donkeys be able to graze without needing feed?
Make me a nature check.
Plus board and
No.
assist with that.
Since River asked, I was just gonna let River make the roll.
15.
15. Yeah, you would know that there's plenty of edible grasses that are going to be along the way. It might make the rations last longer. They might still need some of them. It's like a half a ration a day still, but
Yeah.
it's still it. There are still some edible grasses which would still take time out of your travel too. So you'll have to either camp someplace where you can find a lot of it, or you'll have to gather it yourself.
Okay.
As part of your foraging. So,
Is there a skill for foraging? Survival only mentions hunting.
survival. I usually combine that with survival. Yeah, survival as a kind of catch-all is a kind of roughing it skill where it's finding the best campsites, finding the best foraging places, finding the best hunting, kind of a catch-all for roughing it in D&D. So
Yeah, cool.
depending, because I make you guys roll weird rolls. Sometimes I'll call for different different kinds of different skills to be added instead of just wisdom or anything like that. Because I'm weirdy like that. But yeah, that is something certainly doable. It's just going to take time to do to add that as part of your travel time.
Are we trying to just push on through to get to the Surefall Glades, or do we have an opportunity at the next town to try and make some coin?
There are a couple of towns along the way. There, Ponta Misiera. When you kind of ask this question out loud, and I, as the DM, will answer as Kinwin and River, uh, since they know this area better. That in the that going from Ponta Misiera makes the mountain roads a little more treacherous. Going through Tri Point, there's actually paved kind of canyon roads. So you either go south and go back up north, or you go straight through Ponta Misiera and risk a little bit of more dangerous path. So those are the two choices.
No.
Going through Tri Point takes longer, but it's safer.
We're not really on a time crunch.
No, we're not.
The only thing we have to take into consideration is the ration. If we
Mhm.
are good on those, we have no
Yeah.
concern about our ability to take care of ourselves. Take the safe. That is me saying that is.
So, what route do you take?
Rune votes safe route.
Vanya votes same.
Yeah, safe route.
Safe route.
Lagan
I mean,
doesn't
I'm
care
always-
either way.
I'm always down for a little danger, but
So we'll let River decide. Ponte Machera is her home village, if she'd like to visit it.
It's not a sun village. Oh.
No, his River's home village is actually across the country. I mislabeled that.
His home village, it's actually. What is it actually? What is it actually?
It's beyond that in the country, actually called Dradith.
Yeah,
Oh.
he's from Dradith.
Oh, okay.
Same name as the
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
thing we left back there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Bum, bum, bum. All right, so we're going the safe route.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's still somewhat treacherous, but the city that you would run along the way would be Tri Point, which is kind of a smaller town. It's very cold, though, even though it's kind of in a grassy kind of a space. Normally, it's still early in the spring, and so still the kind of chilly Antarctic winds that come through from the south make it very make it very bitter in some cases. And traveling through the roads, it does get a tiny bit icy at night. In the case of dew, kind of condensing on the paths, and in some spaces where there's smooth rocks that have been put down as road cobbles, the rocks can get a little slippery, but you're able to traverse through that as there is a road going to Tri Point, so it's the only thing that you might worry about is bandits. So who wants to do a quick perception check along this section of the travel?
I will.
All right. Vanya will be looking out for most of this section.
13.
You're fairly certain that you're not running into any danger. Yep, fairly certain. But after, let me look at the map here, because that's about 100 miles. But I'm not closer to 200 miles away from Red Hawk Keep. So that would take roughly, since you are walking, so that'd be about 16 miles in a day. Given that you might walk at a 2-mile-an-hour kind of pace. I can't math in my head, so.
Neither can I, so don't feel bad.
So that'll be 12 days. 12 days that it takes you to get there. Is there anything that
Cool.
you would like to do along that road while you're...
Surely we could cut off some time. There's this point in the road where it goes like in a V, where if we just kept going east, we'd meet up with the road anyway and travel a shorter distance.
That is true. That is true. That the road splits off and the canyon pass actually comes up before Tri Point does. So you can shave off some time by going straight to the canyon pass, or you can go to Tri Point, which is kind of a major city, but
That would
not
depend on.
major-ish.
I guess that would depend on our
We would
rations.
probably be able to get some opportunities for coin Tri Point.
Yeah.
I don't know how the rest of y'all are for coin, but I could definitely use more.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Could always use more coin.
Okay. So, you're going to stop into Tri Point, so that is going to... that is going to be the full 12 days. And what do you plan to do to kind of mingle and make coin amongst this kind of larger town, less than a city?
Lagan wants to look for the board where they normally post jobs,
Okay.
usually near the inn or tavern.
Okay. And
Yeah,
He
Vanya's
lets it
going to
go.
probably see if there's any place you could set up to play.
okay.
You can just get some random coin that way too.
Okay. Anyone else have any other ideas?
River's
I'll
gonna go
join.
pit fighting.
River's gonna go pit fighting.
Hey,
What he's good at.
I'm down for pit fighting.
I'll join Lagan at the boards.
Okay.
Rune is also going to join Lagan.
Okay.
The easiest way to make it easy to his understanding.
Boards sound good.
Boards sound good. Okay. So most of you are gonna
Yeah,
go to the
same,
boards.
same for Shay.
Same for Shay. Okay, perfect.
Yep.
So most everybody's gonna head over to the tavern, which is probably the one real tavern in this particular town. The rest maybe are kind of like little drink bars, but not much in the way of like sitting space. This one is actually has a big kind of dining hall and it looks like rooms for rent. Maybe only a few, but definitely has rooms for rent. That should you want to rent a room, you certainly may. But there is a job posting board that kind of has slips of parchment kind of just pinned to it in kind of a haphazard kind of way, where there's a what kind of jobs are you looking for?
Wait, we're already at Tri Point? I thought we were gonna hunt along the way.
I was just going to go off of your passive, so So that
Honestly, that's a good idea. What is something that we can do that involves? Are there any job postings, hunting, items or pelts or that?
well, since Tri Point is kind of pushed up against the mountains, there are some mountain beasts that are causing a bit of a nuisance in the city, in the town. That occasionally you have the 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 random sort of large wolf or pack of them, or if you go deeper into the mountains, like flying griffins and other sort of strange beasts that are simply making travel both hard, making both travel hard and the farming in the nearby areas
Griffin
uh,
Day.
a lot more hazardous. And so,
Rune is, as he is looking, he is going to notice the listing for the griffins.
hmm.
He pulls off the flyer, thinks about it for a second. What does he know about griffins? Can I roll for that?
Yes, I am going to call that an animal handling check, but roll it with intelligence.
Ooh. 18 plus intelligence.
If you're plus intelligence, plus proficiency if you're proficient.
I'm not proficient, so it would just be 18
Straight intelligence.
plus 3.
Okay, so 18 plus 3 is 21. That's pretty good. You
I know an amount about griffins apparently.
strangely enough, it's not something that comes up very frequently. In fact, you almost feel like you're digging into old memories. That these used to be animals of legend or myth or something of that sort. The fact that something like that might actually exist is actually a little bit surprising to you. Because the flyers describe winged beasts with giant talons and sharp beaks and the body of a sort of mammal creature, not like a bird, more like the combination of a more like the combination of an eagle and a lion, for instance. And these two things have been kind of mishmashed together in some kind of weird but harmonious way, according to the drawing that's on there. And it just seems odd that, these are real, apparently. When you think back to when you were at Seamead, are they traveling creatures? Do they migrate? Is that what you heard back there?
It'll be interesting to conduct research on this species. Understand and perhaps Rune, saying that, holds up the paper to Lagan, Darius, as well as who else? Thus,
I think the only
no
person
one.
who isn't at the boards is Vanya. She's going into the tavern to actually go see if she can go perform.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shows it to everyone but Vanya. Apparently.
I mean,
Hey,
she
Vanya's
can.
gonna do what she's gonna do best, but
She
if you need
can
her
be.
to tag along,
She can be there
Yeah.
just before she goes in. So
Does it list
Yeah.
any requirements for
they're looking
is
for
it
able fighters because just
well
being an ordinary soldier helps fend them away, but doesn't. Many people have gotten injured in this endeavor.
What I mean by that is there anything specific from the creature required for proof?
The flyer requires the talons.
The talons. Okay. So we have to collect the talons.
Yep.
Okay.
What is the bounty?
The bounty on this particular, uh, if you can slay one, it's 100 gold and 50 for any additional.
Everyone thinks about it, calculates it in his head. Considering what we've had to pay thus far, this seems appropriate. Traveling.
How many talons do these things have?
According to the flyer, it's looking for all 16.
Okay.
All 16 from one creature.
Yeah.
Griffin's beasts.
No, you would know them not to be beasts. You would know that they're more along the lines of a monster.
Okay.
Before we walk away from the board, I want to just kind of skim it over and see what like the highest paying bounty on the board is. Even if I know we're not qualified for it, I just want to see what it is.
Um. Okay, so skimming over the board, it seems like there are that's the particularly big one because that one's affecting the economy of this particular area, and it's already a fairly kind of cold and slightly desolate place that even the economy in general is already pretty lackluster, and so to have creatures coming in that are affecting it even more is definitely a big problem, and you can see why it is that they're paying the big bucks, because travel through the mountain pass is difficult, and farming is even more so, and so uh, getting rid of beasts like owlbears and griffins and other such monsters are the biggest paying jobs on this board. Now there are other jobs such as we need a stable hand, for a gold a day. We need this or that for like a gold or two a day. Random little one-off helps, but monster hunting
Jobs
is
requiring healing.
no, not necessarily. They may be looking for more of a um something more long term than just like a healing spell. They're probably looking more for like if you can brew potions. They're probably willing to pay the going price for a potion, which is 50 gold for a regular healing potion.
I can brew those. Do I need ingredients to brew?
Yes, you would. You would need to find your ingredients.
Are there any postings
What are
for?
the ingredients?
Sorry.
Sorry, what was that, Kimwin?
What are the ingredients?
You would know them to be fairly specific medicinal herbs. You're very familiar with the herbs that you can find here in Argyll, because most of the Twilight Grove would have a lot of the plant life that's very medicinal in nature, and given that your tribe also performs rituals that involve these ingredients too, that uh, that you're pretty familiar with it here. Now, if you were to go to other places, it might be a little bit more difficult. But at least in this particular area of the country, it shouldn't be too hard to find along your travels. You would just have to make the dedicated roll. Any other questions?
Are there any postings for the pit fighting or gladiatorial style arena?
You're fairly certain that there's not a job posting for it per se, but you're definitely certain that people would get a kick out of any kind of entertainment. So, not that there's a posting right away, but you're fairly certain that if enough people kind of know that you're putting on a bit of a show, that you might be able to get some good tips. Kind of just depends on how receptive they are.
Yeah. River would go into the tavern and ask the barkeeper about if there's an area to fight.
Okay. And when you step into this tavern, you see sort of an older elfish man. He's kind of just standing there with a glass in his hand that he's kind of cleaning out. That perhaps he's getting ready to serve drinks in once more. And he kind of smiles at you. Hello. You drinking?
I need the information, actually. Is there anywhere in town that someone might fight for entertainment?
You mean like just a scrappy brawl? Because I'm pretty sure you could pick a bar fight with just about anyone.
One where bets are usually placed.
Aha. Something a little more high profile. Well, there aren't very many of those kinds here in Tri-Point. You're probably looking more towards Red Hawk Keep, where they actually have arenas for that kind of thing. There's plenty of arenas that you could go to there.
River's tail just flicks at the mentioned Red Hawk Keep. Yeah, we just passed through there, actually.
Ah.
So it'd be a little out of the way.
Ah, I'd be going back in the wrong direction. I see.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not that there's very much in the way to celebrate anyway with the passing of our dear prince. In fact, I'm fairly certain that King Rojas is very, very grieving.
Which means entertainment is a lot more in demand.
Possibly. We're a little bit more removed from, Red Hawk Keep, but what are you proposing?
I would like to compete. I've done arena competitions before.
Ah. So you're not just looking for any old scrap.
No, I'm looking to earn a bit of gold.
Aha. Well, I may have to ask around because it's not often that we get arena types here. But I might be able to find somebody. It might take a day or two.
Well, I'll speak with my compatriots. We might be in town for a little bit. And he's gonna put a gold on the table. I'll take a drink and keep the change for the other.
Ah. Good man. And he pulls out he pulls a bottle of something that definitely smells like an ale of some kind. Then and pours a bit of it in a small bit of it into a glass, and puts it across the table to you, or across the counter to you. Cheers. And
He
when
just
you
downs it like a shot.
and when you down it, oh, does it burn? But it's smooth. It almost has a bit of a spicy kick to it, but definitely it's definitely a stronger alcohol than maybe an ale. Maybe it's a mixture, or maybe it's unique to this town.
I like that.
Lagan will make his way to the bar.
Mhm.
I'll have whatever whatever he just had.
Fair enough. How you doing, big man?
I am quite well, thank you. How are you?
Good. I don't see your type very often. And he starts to pour some of the drink to you for you.
We don't tend to come down out of the mountains often. What can you tell me of these creatures that have been attacking everyone on the road and
Ah,
your farms?
yeah, a bit of a nuisance. I'm not even sure what to call them. They're they're big, kind of winged beasts, very large. Probably a bit larger than you, not by much though. And big, large wingspan, dangerous talons, and large enough to pick up a man and abscond with him. And upon what fates that they come to at that point, well, it's only a guess that they are devoured and taken to pieces. Farm animals are at risk the most. We do a lot of ranching more than farming here. A lot more, beasts for meat, kind of farming. But then there's also the sort of ravenous herbivore types, like bears, but with faces and feathers like an owl. Very strange creatures. I'm I've been in this city quite a long time, and only recently I've seen such things.
Uh, the flying beasts, is there only one or are there more than one?
There's usually more than one, and they're usually in the rocky portions of the mountains. They make their nests there. One assumes that they make their nests there, at least. There's the old ruins of to the Soul Forger up there. That's it's a ruined temple. It's kind of in the canyon space. You can't miss it, but it's when it starts to narrow is where they find the easiest hunting, and thus they capture travelers going through that route. Seems almost every day. The it's definitely very treacherous up there, even more than just in the winter.
And are these owl bears in the same area?
No, they're closer to the grasslands. They're a little bit further south. They're eating the crops and occasionally the griffins come down from the mountains and steal farm animals.
Hmm.
Nothing is affecting our people more than that.
Uh,
And our generous benefactors posted flyers for weeks now, and no one's been. Either those who've gone and done so before have failed in their task and have never been seen again, or come back severely injured.
how many such individuals have returned? Do you know?
Oh, nobody's gone up in the mountains for months. And we're lucky that someone's willing to pay to have them removed, but there's no one here that can tackle that task.
How much do I owe you for the drink?
5 silver.
He'll slide the 5 silver and 2 for a tip.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for the information.
Absolutely. If you feel that you're confident enough that you can slay the beasts, we'd be eternally grateful. If you are actually serious about such things.
Lagan just takes his warhammer off of his shoulder and sets it on the bar. If this can't get it done, I don't know what will.
Well, may he who created the spark bless you with courage.
And Lagan just chuckles. Bless you, good sir.
And to you.
Lagan will share what information he has gotten from the barkeep on the owlbears and the griffins with everyone. Which way do we want to go first? And which animal is offering the most reward? The griffins?
The griffins. They're the most nuisance. The owlbears seem to be more herbivores. They're just eating crops. They're not really taking in much in the way of meats.
Okay.
But the fact that they're affecting the crops is also affecting the meat farms. So
Right.
Before we set off on whatever way we're going, I'll have joined them in the bar at some point. Is there like anybody playing cards or like anybody look like they're playing any games for money in the bar?
High or low?
Low.
Sadly not. Looks like everybody's just in their cups.
Okay.
And there's only a very few number of people here this early in the afternoon.
While everyone's doing this, can I forage for some specific medicinal herbs?
In this city, that's going to be a little harder, but you can certainly try.
Well, I mean, like stepping out of the city for a bit.
Oh, okay. If you want to wander off outside the city on your own, then you most certainly can. So, roll me a nature check. Outside the city will lower the difficulty a little.
7.
Fun.
Oh,
Oh,
Sadly, it seems like this close to the city, nah, everything's already kind of taken. Anything and everything is already kind of either scavenged or has been picked or is trampled. It's nothing usable.
fungus growing under
Messing
the
up
pizza
these.
box is the wrong kind.
Anyone else doing something different?
Lagana's gonna wait for Kenwin to get back because he really wants to ask Kenwin what he knows of this soul forger temple, whatever.
Kinman will get back about evening. Yeah.
Okay. So are we gonna be looking for rooms for the evening?
Sounds
How
about
far-
like it.
Don't think it would hurt. I wouldn't mind staying
Yeah.
around the bar for the evening.
How long would the journey to where the griffins are be there and back?
There and back is kind of up the mountain pass. So it would kind of be on your way towards Sherfall Glades or somewhere close here to Tri Point. Probably be day and a half, 2 days that you would travel up the mountains.
Okay.
Because River was kind of hoping to wait for information on pit fighting.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
And that would be a day and a half up there, plus then another day and a half back to collect the bounty to go back up. So at least 3.
Would the mountain be difficult terrain? Because if so, I can make it become normal terrain.
It would be slow going, but it wouldn't necessarily. What is that ability that allows you to do that? Because I'm not familiar with that.
Mold earth cantrip. If the dirt or stone you target is on the ground, you cause it to become difficult terrain. Alternatively, you can cause the ground to become normal terrain if it is already difficult terrain. This change lasts for 1 hour.
Okay, so in the way of the Mold Earth cantrip, you would be casting that once every 6 seconds to move 5 feet. So in doing so, that would actually kind of slow down your speed because you would be moving 5 feet every round instead of 12 and a half or 15 feet every round on difficult terrain. And so it would by attempting to make the terrain easier, you're actually slowing yourself down.
That's weird. What would this be useful for then? In combat or something?
In combat,
combat.
where if you want to slow down your opponents, then because I believe Mold Earth is a 5 foot space or a 10 foot space.
Yeah, 5 foot.
Yeah, a 5 foot space. If you're kind of Mold Earth is also used in has been used in the past as kind of a digging cantrip, where you can dig holes with it fairly quickly, and so it's very useful kind of outside of combat to be kind of a very easy way to dig without shovels. In combat,
When we tried to remove that one Drydeath crystal.
yeah, I did attempt to do that, but it didn't work. It just kind of fell. So, but in that case, yeah, the traveling over the difficult terrain would actually be faster than trying to remove the difficult terrain in this instance. So,
Look, let's see. Lagon's gonna return to the barkeep and ask how much are rooms for the evening.
how many rooms you looking for?
Let's see. There's
How many of you are there?
7.
7.
7 of you? And how many rooms? I can fit comfortably 2 in a room. Uncomfortably
least 3.
4 to 5.
At least 3. At least 3.
At least 3.
If there's any way to offset the cost by letting Vanya perform, she's willing to do that.
Okay, yeah. Because you have that entertainer ability, don't you?
Yep.
Which he is actually more than willing to accommodate you in that regard. And the room that Vanya occupies, he would do at no cost for her entertainment abilities, and so whoever's bunking with her would also be able to take advantage of that. So the other 2 rooms would be the ones to pay for, and he says that would come out to 2 gold. A gold apiece.
I'll pay for a room later in the evening, like right before we go to bed. But I kind of want to look around as it gets a little busier, see if anyone has some, like, full coin purses, anything might be able to...
That you might be able to snipe and...
sticky fingers.
Swipe away, yes. Of course.
Swiper, no swiping!
Absolutely. So the evening does draw on a little bit, and it does become time to, if you're going to stay, to pay for the rooms. Vanya, your performance is much appreciated. Go ahead and roll me a performance check. Let's see how well you get in tips.
7. Of course, the one thing I can do well rolls really low.
Ooh. Maybe it's not quite up the alley of this particular kind of country town that seems pretty steeped in a... It seems like guitars are really well accepted and really well regarded here in Argyll. But it might be that your tune's a little foreign, and they might not exactly tip all that well. And so I'm going to say that you get 2 gold as a tip.
Okay.
Total tips. It's in silver, platinum, copper. Not platinum, but silvers and coppers. 2 gold worth.
Okay.
You
There's
playing
a lot of
Aussie
coppers.
when they're expecting Billy Ray Cyrus.
A little bit, yeah. It's a little. They can tell that it's a little bit Grioran Empire of you. So there's a lot of coppers, but it's only about 2 golds worth.
Okay.
Out of all of the patrons for all night. So
yeah.
Darius wants to do a little bit of sticky fingers.
Can I get advantage on one of the rolls for them being distracted by the interesting music?
Given that she didn't exactly distract them all that well, I would say no, unless you want to spend your inspiration.
Well, I was thinking, because it was bad, they were talking about how, not necessarily bad, but how different it was distracting them. But
do you want to spend your inspiration to invoke that? Then I'll still
sure.
allow it.
Yeah.
All right. First inspiration spent of the entire campaign so far. Woohoo!
Doing stealth or sleight of hand?
Roll me a stealth first.
Okay. I mean, these modifiers are the same on either, so I'll use the advantage on the stealth, and we'll just go with whatever for
the sleight of hand. The sleight of hand's going to be
natural,
more how much you get.
Natural 20.
Ooh, honey.
Damn.
Okay. So for the natural 20, I am going to say that that your sleight of hand is going to be a regular roll, but you get double what I roll for gold. I'm going to roll a d10. You're going to get that many gold times 2.
Okay, I was gonna say, and that natural 20 ended up being a 27 total. Yeah. So
Sheesh.
sleight of hand. That's a natural 19 for 26.
Okay. That's
God
a
damn,
fairly
dude.
good. So that's fairly good for the sleight of hand. So you are able to do this without anybody noticing. No one is the wiser that you're picking their pockets. So let's roll a d10, see what happens. That's 4. I'm going to times that by 2, so that's 8 gold in total that you have swiped.
Right.
Plus a platinum.
Ooh. Yeah.
Just because a fickle god may have, in the form of me, may have
Yeah.
rewarded you a little bit more as a result. Well done.
I go and if there are any rooms that have yet to be paid for, I'll pay for the rest.
Okay. So the that 2 gold will be minus from your purse.
Yep.
So, but anyone else doing anything before we close out the night? All right. Then you all tuck into your rooms, cocoon up as you see fit, and then when the morning comes, you begin your daily routine. And what it is that you do after that, well, where are you headed?
In the morning, before we end up going off,
Mm.
River would like to check out the market.
Okay. What are you looking for?
He's looking for something kind of like a trinket.
Okay. Just some random bauble or something specific?
He wants to find something, I guess cute. He wants to find something cute.
Okay.
Buying a gift for someone.
Oh, okay. Buying a gift. Okay. So in the form of gifts, you can find a little shop that has like little knickknacks and oddities and just a mishmash of a little bit of everything. And you find the cute thing that you're looking for, and it will cost you 2 copper.
I guess probably something like a carved stone, something cute.
Okay, so in the case of a carved stone, it'd probably be closer to 4 copper because it's a hand worked instead of like needlework or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's because that's a longer crafting process, but you find it for 4 copper.
All right, thank you.
After breakfast, after I see Lagon's kind of finished with his morning routine, I just kind of want to, if he's like still sitting at the table, I just kind of want to go up on whatever side I know where he keeps his like coin purse, and I want to try and slide 2 gold into his coin purse.
Without him noticing?
Yes.
Okay. What is your passive perception, Lagon?
I believe it's 15.
Okay. That is going to be the DC of him not noticing, so make me a sleight of hand.
19.
Lagon, you have 2 additional gold in your purse, and you do not know about it yet.
All right. We'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah, gotta make up for
And Darius is making up a bit
previous
of small
encounters.
talk and of
Yeah,
course distracting you a little bit, with his.
coin in the finger the entire time. Actually, it's probably that platinum piece back and forth in the finger.
Ooh, that's fun. A little bit of a show off, Mr. Darius Bliss.
That is totally not getting spent for a while. That's my new favorite.
New favorite fidget toy.
Yes.
What is. As he's rolling, why are you always rolling coins between your fingers?
Because it's fun. And I like flip it up in the air and catch it. Call it.
Heads.
Try that again. Did good.
So is Kenwin back amongst the group now?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
What do you know of this soul forger? Ruins?
I don't know. What would I know about it?
Make me a history check, Kenwin.
Roll 20 plus 2.
Ooh, so 22 in total?
Yep.
Very nice, very nice. The Soul Forger ruins, they're kind of a ruined temple slash city kind of a space. It's kind of nestled into a very narrow portion of the canyon going between here and the cities across the mountains. Surefall Glades kind of being on the way, but of course your tribe town is a little bit more of a reclusive and secluded section of the forest, who kind of move around a little bit, but not by much. They kind of stay near the glades themselves fairly frequently. You do know, however, that going up that pass, there are a lot of faces, just random faces of people, kind of carved into the stone. That especially on the side that goes down the mountain from the ruins, in that you know that your people occasionally do, when when a leader dies, their visage is carved into the mountains to serve as a sort of grave while their body is returned to the earth. And so you assume that this has been going on for eons, because there are dozens, hundreds, thousands of faces in these mountain hills, and some are even complete, almost statues, and that have been carved out of the rock. But the temple itself is to the Soul Forger Moradin, that the who is the creator of what some would call the soul, or the spark, the thing that gives mankind its sentience, its thoughts, its feelings, its personhood, which is what separates it from beasts. And that this particular kind of canyon section is kind of littered with ruined marble pillars and bricks, and is overgrown with pine trees and the like. And if a pair or more of griffins have made their nest in some of these tall ruins that kind of litter all across the canyon walls, that they could come out of nowhere and quickly. And because the pass is so narrow, it is incredibly difficult to see where it is that they could come from, with the walls of it being so tall.
Lagan will mention again that the barkeep said that it seems to be the narrowest part of the pass where they're attacking those who have come looking for them.
Understand
You can try
reason.
to lure them away somehow.
Lure them away. Perhaps lure them to us.
Well, how hard is it to find any pole arms in the area?
As far as a weaponsmith, you would see that there is a blacksmith in town, but whether they have weapons for sale, that's something you'd have to go there to actually find out.
Well,
Given
Lagan
that
will
this is a pretty highly ranching and animal farming kind of a town, you imagine that a lot of his smithing work is in animal tools.
but he might have a
He might have a pike or a spear on hand.
yeah. That's the best that I think we can do. So I will make my way to the blacksmith then.
Okay. And when you see the person there, they have a very strange visage about them. They almost have a sort of almost rocky texture to their face and hair. Almost like they're made of earth themselves. Kind of veins of kind of scintillating colors kind of along the temples.
Like a gemstone?
Almost.
Good morning, good sir.
Morning.
Do you by chance have any spears or polearms for sale?
Spears or polearms, and he's gonna go through kind of his inventory and see if there is something. I have this wooden. It's meant to be a spear here relatively soon. It's just I haven't gotten around to it yet. I've had other projects to craft as of late. It's not finished, obviously. It has no head on it.
I appreciate that.
What do you need a spear for?
My friends and I are looking to head off into the pass towards the Soulforger ruins. And I figured spears or polearms might be a bit more advantageous for the creatures swooping down to think twice.
You're probably better off at. You're probably. Well, sadly, I don't have anything like that. The last adventurers who took on this challenge, I sold them weapons and they never returned. So I can't say that my weapons are actually what made things actually better.
It may be the hands that they were in. And
Possibly.
mayhap we find them.
If you find them out there in the wilds, then you, I guess you're, I guess you're a lucky man.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than skilled.
Sometimes, but skill makes the luck even easier.
Much more advantageous if you actually have some skill, yes.
Fair enough. You look like a skilled lad yourself, so.
I'm more skilled on the sea than I am on the land. Well, I do appreciate your time, sir. And if I return, I may still take you up on this spear. Good day, sir.
Good day.
Okay. I would like to find a place to get a clip and clop stowed away so that we don't have to worry about them.
Okay.
Because I'm fairly certain they would be part of the first to be picked off if we take them into the mountains.
And we don't want that.
I think that is a very cautious, is taking precautions. Yes, that is very precautious of you. Let's
And how much would it get them? Would it take to have them?
to have them housed.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm gonna say, for kind of like just a feeding, not really anything special. It's probably about 2 silver a day.
I'll leave a gold because I don't know how long we're gonna be here.
All right. They're happily going to simply feed your donkeys, maybe even a little bit more. They haven't decided yet.
And I will be by at least once a day when I'm in town to brush them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Oh.
Interesting. Oh, Lagan is musing to himself that apparently his gold is multiplying on its own accord.
But when a mommy gold and a daddy gold love each other very much, rub them together.
Essentially, that's the image Lagan has in his head. Yes, he's musing to himself quietly and in his head that I only had 2 yesterday. So apparently they're multiplying.
They are multiplying in your purse. Who knew?
And then find the rest of the crew and start making our way out.
River, you were looking for someone to possibly entertain the masses with whom to fight.
Yes.
Well, it has been made clear that Lagan would be down for such a venture, and there might be, depending on who else in the party is also wanting to participate, that if you wanted to do just a short tournament, that there might be a reward for the winner.
Shay would like to get involved with River if she can.
I'll be right back. I have to let my roommate in.
Oh, okay. But yeah, if Shay wants to participate in this little bout of pit fighting, then she most certainly may. Was it?
Yeah. Would it? Would it be me? Would it be her on her own, or would her and River be able to be a pair?
That's kind of up to you. So if you want to do 2v2, that's certainly something you could do. Or You can do or you could do a tournament style where it's 1v1 and winner takes all.
Oh, well, I'll leave it up to River then if she wants to have backup, or if he wants to have backup. Shay just kind of figures, that River was in the arena once and that didn't always go well, and so if he'd like a friend this time by his side, then Shay would sign up for that.
So River, are you looking to more make a 2v2 kind of match, or is it or is it more of a 1v1 kind of tournament style, depending how many people are involved?
He'd be more 1v1.
More 1v1.
And
okay.
Yeah, he would tell Shay, it's fine, Senorita. I'm used to fighting. It's okay.
Does Shay still want to participate?
Yeah, she'll give it a go. She's been feeling a little more confident in her combat skills, so.
Fantastic.
All right. Darius wants to join in as well.
Before we get into anything else, River will talk to Shay. I saw this in the market. I thought you would like it. And he hands her a little carved cat. A little stone that's carved to look like a cat.
Oh, that is absolutely adorable. I quite like it. The god puppeting me is not feeling well, but she is very enthused. I am very enthused. This is very nice. Thank you. I will cherish this.
All right. So, we're going to have a bit of pit fighting.
Yeah.
So, we have two ways that we can actually go about doing this. We can either do so where it is actual hand-to-hand combat with dice rolls where, 0 hit points and then you're instantly raced back up to full. Or we can do it because that could take a while depending on your HP. Or we could do it best 2 out of 3 for regular old D20 rolls and no modifiers. So how do you want to do this?
Because it is entertainment, probably best 2 out of 3.
Best 2 out of 3? Okay.
Yeah.
We're not trying to hurt each other.
Yeah, sir.
All right.
That's what you think.
Is this armed or unarmed? That's the question. Unarmed.
Pit fighting is always unarmed.
Oh, never mind. Shay backs out then. Unless I can throw rocks.
I would allow, in the case of Shay, and then in the case of Darius, that if you wanted to use dexterity as your unarmed combat statistic, I will allow it.
Can I use dexterity as my unarmed?
You may. I'm going to allow for strength or dexterity for those who want
I said best 2 out of 3 with no modifiers.
Well, usually. Okay, so this is going to be flat D20 rolls. So, either way, with it being flat D20 rolls, Shay might actually come out on top. You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if I can use my dex, sure. Because if I had to use my strength for unarmed, no.
We're doing more along the lines of more like the way that we do like the games where you do the best 2 out of 3, kind of a style, because otherwise we'd be here in melee combat for everybody.
So it's just gonna be flat D20s.
Yep.
Plus
so
dex?
we're not.
No flat D20s, no modifiers.
No modifiers.
No, none. Okay.
Hell, Vanya's gonna get in on this. Have some fun.
A little bit of fun. All right. So we have
Just a touring tournament at this point.
So it's Shay, it's Lagon, it's Vanya, it's River, it's Darius. Kinwin or Rune? Are you gonna even up, or are we?
Yeah, man.
All right.
Rune is going to watch.
Okay. Rune will sit back and watch. We'll keep it even then. So, well, now we have to come do a bit of a tournament. So,
Voodoo pie.
so
Can we
I'm
roll a d6 to see who faces off against each other?
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I'll roll a d6, and it's going to be. Let's see. Let me look at the actual. Let's see. We're gonna have Darius is 1, River is 2, Lagan is 3, Vanya is 4, Shay is 5, and Kinwin is 6. So, for the first combatant, we have Darius, and he will be paired up against Vanya. And so after that, it will be. I already rolled that one. It will be Kinwin versus River. And then it would be
Lagan and Vanya.
Nope, Lavanya's going against Darius. It'd be
Oh.
Lagan
Lagan and Shay.
Lagan and Shay. Yep.
Oh
All
no.
That could not be more polar fuckery than ever.
Oh no.
Now it's does Lagan actually fight, or does he hold back and lose on purpose?
We will find out.
We'll find out. The dice will tell us.
Jay, good luck. You're facing Mojo dice. That's all I have to say about this.
I don't know. I don't have very good physical dice, but rolling on VTT, I tend to do better.
Okay. Well, we'll definitely need
We'll
that
see.
in mind. Let's do it.
Yeah, we shall see.
And then Shay versus Lagan. So I'm just making a note of that so that I don't forget.
Yep.
So let's get a little bit of battle music going on.
So are we gonna have a winner's bracket and a loser's bracket?
We can.
We need another fight to make it work. So it's 4 fights in the first round, 2 fights in the second round, and then 1 fight in the final.
I don't want this to go on for too long. So
NPC 1 and 2 fight each other. 2 wins. 2 will face off whoever.
I think we'll just have a winner's bracket. Losers are out. So
Okay.
Okay.
I'll go with that.
So, Darius versus Vanya. Roll me a d20, each of you.
Oh, that fell off the desk. Three.
A natural 1 for Darius. Both of you are stumbling over your feet. You're trying your best, but somehow, Vanya, you come out on top with the successive blows that you're making. Round 2. Ready, roll.
7.
9.
Darius, she may have gotten the upper hand on you before, and you're both still kind of a little bit. Your game's a little off. You're still feeling a little off about your game, but at least you have the advantage now. So this is the winning roll.
14.
19.
And Darius, you're able to successfully. The way that I'm picturing this is kind of like a wrestling match almost, where you have successfully pinned her and counted her out. Vanya, sadly, you have lost.
Yep.
Next matchup, Kinwin and River. Roll a d20.
Is, like, after this first fight, is there, like, any sort of crowd starting to watch?
Oh yeah, people are starting to come in.
I'm like walking through the crowd trying to take bets.
Ooh, yes.
I got
yes.
17.
And Kinwin?
18.
Oh, just barely. And you notice that that River, he does a lot of his fisticuffs one-handed, but in the case of it, he's doing pretty well. But Kinwin somehow gets the upper hand. Roll number 2.
Use my inspiration.
Oh, okay. I'll allow it.
Oh, that's right.
I'll allow it. Roll it at advantage.
12.
Oh,
Natural 1.
oh. While Kinwin may have had the upper hand previously, he may have gotten a little bit cocky. And that cockiness probably got to him a little bit. And Kinwin, you're able to take advantage solidly take the upper hand. Final round.
Alright. 16.
4.
Oh, Kinwin, the nimble cat. The
River.
nimble cat folk.
It's River.
Oh, River.
You
Sorry.
said kid.
My bad. My brain. River, the nimble cat folk, is able to take the upper hand, and there are even more people starting to gather around this little tournament that you've chosen to. Fantastic. Next up is Shay versus Lagan, the polar opposites.
So, quick
Am I-
question:
Sure.
Are we allowed to utilize any features that we might have?
Since these are flat D20 rolls and are not necessarily skills, unless it affects just general D20s in general, I would say not. What were you thinking? Maybe we can throw in some flavor here.
I mean, it's definitely not a straight D20. It's just, I got steady aim, so I can give
Ooh.
myself a bonus action. As a bonus action, I can give myself advantage on attack rolls for the turn. And I was just thinking about it because, since it's the stipulation of it is I can't.
Yeah, since this isn't really going to be considered an attack roll, this is more of a game than but that would absolutely be to your advantage in any combat situation.
Yeah, roll. So yeah, not a D20.
All right, D20s, please.
18.
18.
Oh, it's a tie. Wow. Well,
Okay.
tie at the first roll. All right. No one has advantage. Round number 2.
Am I getting any takers, especially on this fight, on the bets?
19.
Make me a persuasion check really quick.
2, and I'd like to help Darius be within 30 feet of me.
Ooh.
17.
17. That help action, that's grant advantage, right?
Yeah, Master of Tactics. I can use a help action as a bonus action. Use it, aid an ally. Hold on. You can.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, never mind. It just lets them aid in attacking a creature.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because it's more of a tactical. But he's more of a.
Oh sorry, brain fog. It just lets me use the help action to aid an ally.
In an attack, yeah.
Hold on. When you use the help action to aid an ally in attacking a creature, the target of that attack can be within 30 feet of you rather than within 5 feet of you. The target can be here. Yeah. Never mind.
Yeah, it's towards the attack roll. Helping the attack roll. So.
The second one was a natural 20.
Oh.
But
Also 2
it was
against Darius.
Or versus Lagan.
Or not Darius, Lagan. Yeah.
17 on the persuasion.
Very nice, very nice. I'll keep that in mind. And so with Lagon, what was your roll?
19.
Ah, you have the clear advantage in that regard. Roll number 3.
17.
14.
Lagon, the clear winner.
I mean, we had a tie the first one.
Yeah,
We did.
but it was best
So
2 out of 3.
technically,
He got
well,
2.
but he didn't best me.
Ah,
Maybe
Twice.
not in the first
I
round.
guess he did. Yeah, he did best me twice.
yeah,
I
he did
guess.
best you twice. So
Yeah.
I think that counts for that. And then, so we had Darius win versus Vanya, River win versus Kinwin, and Lagon win versus Shay. So, we do a. Let's see. Does anyone have a choice that they want to go against? Because
I say
we have
Lagon
3
should be the
combatants.
last one to fight.
Or we could put all 3 of you doing the rolls.
I say all 3.
3, yeah.
I'm
All
I
down
like
for
three.
that.
Okay. We're gonna make the winner is going to be the first to 2.
Okay.
So, roll a d20s.
14.
14.
19.
Ooh. Lagon wins in that round. Okay. Lagon gets the point. Number 2.
16.
19.
Ooh.
18.
Ooh, Darius wins a point that time. It's a close match between these 3. Like, you see that River's dodging and weaving, and Lagon is using his size and his strength behind his swings, and Darius is just as nimble and cat-like, if not a bit more graceful in some ways. And so, round number 3.
11.
Natural 20.
Ooh.
Natural 20.
Oh. Okay, for that round, I'm actually going to call a roll-off between Darius and Lagon. See who gets the point.
19.
19.
Oh, come on.
At this point,
Alright.
River is just sitting out. He's just watching.
Switching dice. This is either
Alright.
going to be good or bad.
Roll off again. This is still
Yeah,
the
I
same
don't know
round.
if that master of tactics can help him now. He's technically attacking Lagon.
Natural 20.
Ah. 16.
Lagon gets the point, which brings him first to 2. Lagon, while you may have bruised some of your compatriots, no one is hurt for no worse for wear. A little bit of an ego bruising on some.
For any of the physical injuries, Lagon would offer cure wounds.
Fair enough.
I imagine Shay
just, like-
kind of backed out after trying to avoid some flaps.
I just, even though, like,
On the way.
I didn't take a whole lot of damage, I'm just like, all weak and wimp, gonna, like, limp up to Lagon. Oh. And then just big old smile.
Yeah, I feel like Lagon and Shay's tie wasn't so much Shay holding her own as the two of them looking at each other and then Shay just giving up.
No,
Being like,
that-
this
that-
is
that was-
this is not gonna no.
that was also a bit of Lagan, like, yeah, I really don't want to do this.
Yeah, and Jay just like look at all of her like 4 feet. She's just like, yeah, neither.
I'm going to say that out of the bets, you have earned another 18 silver.
Is that everyone?
That is the bets that Darius was having people people, you know, participate in. So if they lost, they gave him 18 silver.
What was the pot for?
The whole pot was 18 silver.
Okay.
So.
Yay.
Do we want to split that up evenly, or?
Trying to math that.
I think it's 3 silver each.
For the 6 participants, or for because Rune was.
I was asking for the 6 participants.
Yeah.
Was there a pot for the 6 participants?
You didn't clarify, so I don't know. You didn't tell me how this was going to work, so I just said that you earned 18 silver. Cool.
Okay.
Because the whole point of the tournament was entertainment to earn money.
Right.
Yeah.
So in all cases, whether it's tips, whether it's pot winnings, whether it's whatever, you've earned 18 silver.
Yeah, the 3, I'll split the 18. Give everyone that participated 3 silver.
Thank you.
It's not a lot, but these people don't have a lot of money.
Grandma definitely taught me how.
Oh, Grandma definitely told you how to make money. If it wasn't...
Anyone need any healing?
No, there's no one took any damage, so
Okay.
It's more of an entertainment factor anyway.
Gotcha.
Coffee.
Yes.
Over the past couple of nights that everyone has been doing their business,
Mm-hmm.
Rune has just been tinkering away. Basically adjusting.
Adjusting what exactly?
He is. He's been utilizing his ability as officer to rating.
You're cutting out kind of bad, so I'm not sure I'm getting it.
Oh, sorry. He's been using his own abilities as an artificer to improve his armor rating. So.
Okay. He's been working on his armor. Okay.
Yep. So
Cool
infuse
beans.
item, or pardon, artificer infusions.
Okay.
I can do 4. I've decided to just use its defense on his AC.
Okay. Yeah, just when it comes to your character sheet, just put notes on it what infusions you've used and where you're putting them. So
Yeah.
so that
I'll put
I can
that in
have
my
a note
bio.
and you can have a note. Cool beans. And just keep that on your Roll20 character sheet so that I can keep track. But that does it for the entertainment. You have sufficiently entertained people for an afternoon, and now it is into evening of the second day that you've been in Tri-Point. And so what do you do?
Vanya through the day would have gone around to see what kind of music they prefer to listen to, or if she performs for them again.
Mm-hmm. Some of the musicians that you hear are kind of like a four-person group. It consists of a violin, a guitar, a sort of very large bass guitar in some way, and a kind of smaller stringed instrument, like a lute or a very small lute. It's very and you can hear that they're singing in the local common, which is a bit foreign to you. It's it's not a language that you've picked up on before. It's very odd. And so when they're when they're playing, it's definitely very upbeat compared to maybe some of the songs that you personally know. It's definitely very jovial, uh, very kind of in real world terms, it would be like mariachi.
Okay.
And so you um, they seem very enthused when they're singing, and there's plucking and very fast movements on the instruments, and they kind of just walk around. This is just like a 4-person group. They seem to just kind of walk around the city and and uh, and occasionally stop in the marketplace, occasionally stop at the taverns, occasionally stop at fooderies, and kind of just play for anybody who would toss them a coin.
Okay. Okay, cool.
But you do notice some consistent themes. It seems to kind of be if there's any kind of religious tonality to it at all, you notice that some of it is revolves around the Soul Forger, and that if there's anything that comes out as kind of a theme, that it seems that the country of Argil definitely reveres the Soul Forger, probably above the other gods. You see, as you're walking around, you see little shrines and even a temple. It's not a very big temple. It's maybe has a max capacity of about 10 people. But you kind of look and consider and think that that's possibly enough for this town. That it doesn't need to be very big. That people can come whenever it is they like. larger You've seen larger temples coming from Red Hawk Keep that maybe they even make the journey from time to time to worship at the larger temples based on what you've seen so far. But you notice that it's very kind of jovial, very kind of calm, serene, happy, that kind of a feel to it. And that maybe
Okay.
the lullaby or whatever it is that you played wasn't quite striking the right tune, wasn't striking the right chord.
Oh yeah, definitely going to try something a little bit more upbeat next time.
Mm-hmm.
Lagan would say, given the hour, it would be best for us to rest here the evening and then set out for the Soul Forger ruins in the morning. And Lagan would return to the barkeep and pay him 2 gold for the rooms, and then make his way to check on Clip and Clop.
Okay. Clip and Clop are then brushed, and you make sure that they're fed. The time already paid for, and the rooms now paid for, and you all are free to rest as you see fit. So, the evening draws to a close. The tavern once again fills with patrons who are happily spending their coin on drink. That when they that they're happy uh, to they're happy to hear Vanya perform again. Vanya, go ahead and make me a performance check.
Please roll higher this time. 15. How about 19 that time?
Hey.
Yay!
doing that little bit of research into the kind of sounds that the performers of this particular town are into definitely has done a lot of good for being able to perform better today. And so, in tips, you get 3 gold.
Okay.
Still in coppers and silvers, but you get 3 gold worth.
How crowded? Like, roughly how many people?
It's about the same as it was before, the night before.
I'm gonna push my luck. I'm gonna try again, doing the same thing.
Smart. Maybe they've become a little wiser to having their purses tied a little tighter.
See.
We'll see. Roll me stealth.
Stealth is gonna be a 23.
Okay. You are smooth and cool as a cucumber. Let's see if you can.
Sleight of hand is a natural 20.
Hmm?
27.
Oh. You know, I am going to let you choose how much you take.
I mean, I honestly don't know. I mean, with the 23, I'm probably as much as I think Darius would feel comfortable with. I mean, that just going through, he's done this before. He knows how many and who to target.
Mm-hmm,
So,
mm-hmm. It was the little
um,
willy-nilly last night.
yeah, it was. My question is the person that I got the platinum from the last time, are they here again?
Yes.
I'm going to, mix here and there from other people. I want everything out of the person with the platinums, if I can get it.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. Might come with consequences, though.
Yeah, it might. I also
might.
have a bad reputation, so.
Yes, you do.
You are a pirate after all.
So I'm kind of putting that back on you. I don't know how much that would have been, plus then probably another couple of gold total from everyone else.
I'm gonna say you are able to collect because this person looks hella wealthy. Hella wealthy. Like they strolled into town and kind of owned the place. And so you're able to pull an additional 3 platinum and 7 gold from this person, as well as a total of 3 gold in coppers and silvers from the others that you've pickpocketed tonight.
All right, cool beans. Sounds good.
All right. And that being said, we are going to take a quick break. And we'll be back with the traversal through the canyon to the Soul Forger's ruins and see what it is that they can come up with when it comes to fending off and destroying some griffins. We'll be back soon, everyone. Welcome back, everyone, to Rebirth, a D&D tale. Session 6. The party has recently stopped in at a little town called Tripoint, collected some goods and news and jobs that they could potentially use to garner favor and coin, and among other things, when it comes to their own personal standing. They've picked up a job in which a wealthy benefactor has been kind enough to post a well-paying job notice for destroying and bringing back the claws of a griffin or more than one. And thus, in doing so, would be paid 100 gold for the first and 50 gold for each subsequent. And so the party has taken this notice and have taken it upon themselves to try and liberate this little ranch town in the southernmost peninsula of the country of Argyll, and potentially help them in that regard so that they can, as a town, get back on their feet as this early spring is going to turn into summer within a couple of months. And so, is there anything you wish to do before the party sets out this early morning?
If anyone can help me find these medicinal herbs, that would also be a good source of income.
I could help
Lagon?
with that.
Lagon would try and help.
Okay. So you're gonna do that as part of your travel up the mountain?
I would think so.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right.
Is River and Shay still sharing a tent?
Up to you.
While you're out, you can be if you'd like.
I mean, aren't we still in the region, or was it just near the city?
You are currently in the Tri-Points and would have had the ability going from Red Hawk Keep down to Tri-Point to have shared tents before.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure
yeah.
how long River would be more comfortable in it.
It would probably be like minimum 3 days travel from there, because I think the travel was 12 days total.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So minimum the first 3 days.
Okay.
You would have.
Yeah, it's not like, I mean, to be clear, it's not like Shay's ever kicking you out or like, you gave me this tent. No, never. It's just, it's whenever River is comfortable, just
Yeah.
checking.
Yeah, it would have been about 3 days before he's like, okay, I don't need to.
No.
I don't need to stand.
Yeah, the first 3 days traveling from Red Hawk Keep would have been together, but otherwise, you could have been by yourself. You could have been together again. It's kind of up to you guys. But now that you're kind of leaving Tri-Point to go up the mountain to the ruins of a sort of temple/city dedicated to the Soul Forger. It's very early in the morning, and so you have as much daylight as is possible to make the trek if you'd like. And so, before you make your way up, is there something you wanted to do before leaving? Or is everybody Gucci?
I'm good.
We're good.
Okay.
Gee.
So, making the trek up the mountain it starts to get into rocky terrain, kind of rocky forest floors, lots of roots and things of that sort. Very quickly going up this trail, and it very quickly turns into a very wide canyon, and then starts to progressively narrow as you continue to climb. Now, with climbing up a mountain, the amount of time uh, that you can spend traveling the distance is significantly longer, and you're more going upwards than you are traversing the kind of as the crow flies kind of miles. So um the it's what you would normally be able to traverse in 3 days, or a day and a half, uh, would uh, would be would feel significantly shorter compared to the grasslands where you can essentially walk 16 miles in a whole day. But if you were to go up a mountain, you probably could only really get, depending on the hardship, between 6 and 8. So, in that particular case, I would like somebody to make a survival check for me in order to be able to plan the best route.
I have +4 survival.
Okay. Then, Kinwin, make me that survival roll.
Suck 7.
Oh no. For the first few, maybe half a day that you're climbing up this mountain, all of you get this strange sense that your legs are working extra hard, that the trails that you're being led through are either very faint or non-existent. You're worried that you're so far off the trail that you might be lost.
Amigo, are you sure where we're going?
I do not know. I may have made a wrong turn somewhere.
I would like to note, as we get into the higher terrain, steeper elevation trails, Lagan would take his rope and tie everyone together in case someone were to slip and fall.
It is
So
getting
then
pretty,
everybody dies?
it is getting pretty steep. It's getting pretty rocky, and since you are not on a trail at the moment, from what you can tell, it's very difficult to traverse. And this would be considered mountain terrain versus forest. So for the considerations,
I can appreciate the tying everybody together to keep everyone from dying, but I feel like we can't ignore the other side where if we're tied together and it's a situation where we all fail, or like what happens if Lagan, the biggest one, if I'm the one who's responsible at the end of the line for holding everybody up, we're all doomed. Like
We'll be sure to not have more than one of us fall out.
Lagan seems to be pretty sure-footed on this.
I'm not saying I don't trust you. I'm just the logistics, the statistics aren't in or against us. For or against us. Sorry, this thin air up here in the mountains doesn't make my brain as sharp as I would like it to be.
Yeah, the air does get thinner the higher you go. Do we need to find a new trail, Kinwin?
think a new trail would be easier, yeah.
All right. So, if you would like, you can make another survival roll. However, I will point out that another failure will be a guaranteed you're lost.
Can Lagan help with the survival check?
I'll
Hey.
allow it if you have proficiency.
Yeah, Shay is also looking at Vanya because I think Vanya, aren't you good in the well, like woods, or does this
In the
count, or
forest,
like
yes.
how what you think?
I would assist, but I have like no proficiency in survival, so
Neither do I. No. River? No.
It's not my strongest suit, but I could try.
If you have proficiency, I'll allow you to assist Kinwin in this survival roll.
I do not. No.
Okay.
When I believe in you. You can do this.
You do have an inspiration, so just as a reminder, you can spend your inspiration to get yourself advantage.
Since I grew up in this area, could that impart any bonus?
That makes it a DC 10 roll.
Oh, okay.
that
Inspiration
decreases
lets
the
me
difficulty.
roll 2d20.
Mm-hmm. It's just you got lost. You may have crissed when you should have crossed.
Inspiration would let me roll 2d20, right?
Yeah, maybe it'll allow you to do advantage, yep.
Alright, so yeah, I'll use the inspiration then.
Okay.
Three, and a natural 20.
All
Plus
right.
4.
Thank goodness for the you do have to sit and think about it for a moment, Kinwin. And you're kind of looking at your surroundings. You're kind of looking at some of these trees and none of them seem familiar. They're not in the right place. They're not the right shape. There's too much of this or that in this area, and you're about to point yourself in one direction and try and go in that direction to kind of to do what you can to correct. But then a almost sort of out of nowhere inspiration, you think, no, not that way. That way. And you start walking with determination in that direction. And after a few hours, you find yourself back on the trail. Or at least a trail. Now, this also did mean that you more or less backtracked on yourself for the entirety of the whole entire day. So progress up the mountain hasn't really been made all that much. And so in that regard, you've really only made about a third of a day's travel in the course of a whole day. So you still have somewhere along the lines of another day and a third that you still have to travel when you finally stop and give your aching legs. Everyone's legs hurt from all of the off trail traveling that you've done so far. Except for maybe Rune, because he's a walking suit of armor. But everybody else, you ache. It has been a long and arduous day.
Well, Kenwin, see? I told you I believed in you. I knew you could do it.
I was here in the end, just a little unexpected detour. Do we happen to find any medicinal herbs along that detour?
That you would need to do separately. So go ahead and make me another survival roll.
Actually, could I cast locate plants and animals? No.
Ooh, that'll actually get you a pinpoint location. Yeah.
Yep.
Can you share what it is you're looking for, for River to be able to cast the spell?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh wait, hold on. I'm sorry. That's second level.
Yes, you are level 2. You only have first level spells, right?
Yeah, I thought I was on the first level page.
And I also rolled a natural 1. I am really failing at these foraging and hunting checks.
Oh no, poor Kinwin.
Can those of us that were assisting also make a survival roll for this?
What
Or nature roll?
What were you assisting?
Looking for the plants that Kenwin had asked us about
okay.
on our track.
Yeah, I'll let you make a survival check. Look on. Since you were meaning to help.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You're able to find enough to brew half a potion. You'll need to spend another day looking for ingredients.
Okay.
But it seems that Kinwin, the
Thank you, Logan.
he seems to be having sharper eyes. You might be a little distracted today, Kinwin. What do you think is maybe distracting you at the moment? Is it that you're heading back home?
Well, I was sent off to make contact with the other Druid tribes, but I'm returning fairly quickly and I haven't been to any of them. So, I'm not sure how well that would be received.
Yep. So you're pretty nervous, that's for sure. Because you know that Guildmaster Thalia, she's a stern old lady. And you're not entirely sure if she's going to take kindly to all of these foreigners, much less non-kinsmen. It's kind of a lucky break that she even accepted River. That it took her a long time to really warm up to him. But you're able to stop for the evening, and you are able to set up a camp. Who's taking first watch?
Lagon will.
All right, I guess I.
Rune kind of doesn't sleep, so he's always kind of in sentry mode. Now, whether he's doing something actively during some of these times, or whether he's simply in a restful state when someone else takes watch, it gives him a little bit of time to maybe tinker while on the road here.
Mm-hmm.
Which I believe it was Darius who was fairly interested in the tinkering that Rune was doing. And Rune, you kind of, when you do kind of sit down and, tinker with something, you do notice that Darius is occasionally sweeping his eyes over what it is that you're doing.
Can I help you with anything?
Watching, learning, absorbing. It's interesting what you're doing.
How so?
I mean, when you doing that connecting this to that, what does that do for you again?
It allows me to intercept some of the mechanics involved with my system and improve them as I see. And as he makes small adjustments, Darius, you see he's like sitting there using like a screw to work on some bolts. Got like this small, what basically amounts to like a blow, not a blow, soldering.
Mm-hmm.
Soldering a little bit. And once he finishes Darius, he holds up his arm, and it seems to junction into place the different moving mechanisms closing up in his form. Very Iron Man-esque.
That's just so mind-boggling the way all of that works.
It is a simple sign. However, I suppose it's not accessible.
Maybe, maybe you could teach me someday.
Perhaps. Tell me, do you understand the terms and mechanisms behind quantum magic particleization?
What's it now?
Sorry. Me out of character. Rune just gives his, empty look. I see there would be much to learn.
Yeah, quantum something. Yep. Got it.
Out of character. I didn't roll for it. But because I forgot to because I'm heavily distracted. But what would Rune have at any point noticed any of the pickpocketing that Darius did?
I will allow you to make a perception check now as you're looking him over.
Okay.
Let's see how well you're able to pick up on little subtle details.
So it would be a 17 if perception. If going off of insight, it probably it would just be a flat 6.
Yeah, it's a perception check, just a simple perception check.
Okay, so yeah, 16 plus.
You're counting out a little bit.
How much total?
18 total.
Darius, where is your coin purse? Is it on your belt?
Yeah.
You can tell that coin purse is just a little bit fatter. That's the only thing that's different about him right now. Not by much, but it looks like it's pulling on it. It looks like it's pulling on his belt loop a little harder than it was before.
Darius, you see Rune's mechanical eyes hone in on your belt, coin purse. What sort of business have you been conducting? What do you do in your free time?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Is it the implication was made before. But is it of legal means?
Absolutely. And like he's literally shaking his head no as he says absolutely.
Okay. He's being very transparent about that.
Yeah.
Rune looks down for a moment and seems to ponder something. Well, I can't necessarily say I am in agreement. I can't complain as long as it does not cause any trouble or tribulations for the rest of the group.
I do my best not to be found out.
I hope that maintains such. However, perhaps I can show you some. I have an idea, and Rune pulls out his sketchbook and presents it to Darius. And he kind of lays it on the table, or the ground in front of them, log or something. You wish to learn, yes?
Of course.
And on it is just this, like, a whole bunch of schematics that basically look like wormholes going on. Like quantum mechanics in mathematical writings and notes. And he starts spieling off this long-winded monologue about, like, quantum planar magic and basically, like, just going off on this, like, scientific spiel that I personally cannot reproduce.
Yeah, I get like 3 words into, I hear quantum magic dynamic and my eyes glaze over. Like I'm looking at you, but there's not a whole lot. There's no one home.
Rune's just, like, all in 100%.
Oh,
and
yeah. He's
after about
enthused about his project here.
And after about, like, 30 minutes of going off like this, finally he comes to a conclusion. Therefore, I have the hypotheses, and in summary of this, that if I were to reconstruct that particular quantum pattern, magical facilitation into a pouch, then it could carry a much larger proportion of components than initially would be perceived.
Oh.
Did you follow any?
Bigger on the inside?
Yes.
Maybe. Darius is like hoping that he's picking just some of this up through like osmosis.
I definitely understood the last part.
Yeah. So in like thinking of like the applications of some of the like the magic things that you can do, Darius thinks about it for a minute and just making things bigger like that, applying your magic, would you be able to like I'm wanting. Okay, so you've seen me, you know, I'm kind of lazy. When I throw my daggers, I don't want to have to go pick them back up. Is there any way, like, making it come back so I don't have to go get them all the time?
Rune thinks about it. It is probable, though I will have to conduct research for it.
Anything?
Chains, and then attach the chains to your wrist.
But that changes the dynamic and the weight, and then I have to... It makes it harder to throw. I like the idea.
Also, swing it.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll think about it. And then back to Rune. I mean, if there's anything I can do to help, supplies or funding, I can put some your way.
Provide me with one of your daggers. I will see if I can conduct the necessary research.
I give her one of my daggers.
Begrudgingly. Rune looks it over, begins investigating it a bit.
It's a pretty
you see-
standard mundane dagger.
Alright. Material?
Steel.
Okay. He thinks about it for a moment. And I guess what he's interested in knowing is there such a magical item as, like, what would he be able to come up with the necessary craft, like, ideas for this, the mechanical or physical components to enchant an item?
This particular item would be you know, it's a mundane dagger, so it is able to be whatever it is you want it to be ultimately. And so the sorry, cats walking all over my shit. But you would know that that there is the possibility that you could design a belt in which daggers and their sheaths could be attached to. And when drawing a blade from a sheath attached to this belt, that object, once it leaves the hand and lands somewhere, it is instantly transported back to its sheath.
Rune hands the dagger back to Darius. Using these particular calculations, I think it might be able to modify them in order to create, I suppose, a belt that recalls. Question is, and mundaning pulls, and so he just goes into like a little monologue drawl to himself again. Process in his brain is just like, you hear just like this whirring sound from deep inside of him.
Was he muttering out loud?
Yes.
Darius, you swear that some of the muttering that he's doing is in a different language.
Rick?
I don't know. What languages do you know?
Infernal and Thieves can't common.
Nope. There's nothing you know.
Okay.
But he seems to be forming coherent sentences, if a little distracted. But he's frequently going back to common, kind of talking out loud. But when you think that he's thinking something to himself or muttering something to himself instead of to you, it starts to sound a little different, and then he swaps back to going into common. It seems almost like he doesn't realize he's doing it.
You ever noticed you sometimes slip into another language room?
He stops. Do what?
Like, you were muttering, but it wasn't common.
What
And it
language?
wasn't that I don't know what language, but it wasn't common, and it wasn't like the big long speech you gave before was common, and I didn't understand all of it, but at least I knew they were common words that I understood. This wasn't common.
He thinks about it. Will be mindful. Apologies.
No problem. Just didn't know if you'd ever noticed before.
You see, there's this expression of somehow, some way, of a mild distress. I did not.
It's okay. Nothing to worry about.
See. And he returns back to his book. But before he continues on his calculations, Darius, do you ever what was child? Perhaps before you made it, do you remember much of your path?
You cut out on part of that. I didn't hear all of it.
Do you remember much of your history?
I mean, I remember the orphanage. I remember everything that led to me starting boat work. Is there something specific in my past you're curious about?
What's it like? Knowing. Never mind. That was an unusual question. I apologize.
Yeah, he dumbfounded, almost doesn't know how to answer that. And nothing to be sorry about. I have known people that haven't known where they come from. We saw a lot of that in the orphanage, but anything we can do to help, I'm sure this group would not mind helping you figure out who you were, who you are. No?
No. It is not necessary. I do not wish to trouble him. I will continue with this research project. Darius. Did not mean to cause any issues for you.
No problems at all. You see, like, as he's saying that, he's just kind of taking mental notes of... We're revisiting that at some point, but he can tell that you're hesitant to talk about it now, so he's dog-earing the book. We'll come back.
Does Lagan hear this conversation between Rune and Darius?
They are saying it out loud, so that's up to you.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be quiet about it. I very much was. I'm lazy. I want help being more lazy.
In response to Rune's question to Darius, Lagan will ask Rune, "What's it like not knowing?"
Rune, he seems to be processing that for a moment. Troubling. Many questions.
Sorry.
Go on.
Sometimes it's troubling knowing.
Perhaps. Weight of the world in either sea. And with that, Rune goes back to work. Just digs back into his studies.
The night is about to close soon. You all are kind of resting from the long hike. Before going to sleep. Anyone else doing or saying anything before the night closes?
But I think after hoofing it extra far, it's perfectly fine, Kinwin. But I think Shay's going to bed early. Like, that whole conversation's going on, and Shay's already wrapped it up.
Literally.
But the night comes to a close. Rune, you take your usual sentry visage over the group, remaining vigilant even as the others periodically join in a watch to kind of make sure that everyone is safe. But a thought runs across your mind, Rune. A thought in another language. A thought to a woman. Bright red hair and smiling.
He, as everyone sleeps and slumbers, he opens up his sketchbook, the notes, quickly jots down the face. Flipping back through it, he's drawn her many, many times before. It's like she haunts him. And he can never understand who, why. But desperately, he wants to know.
Having, still been trying to sneak peeks here and there at the things Rune's been working on, do I happen to see any of the sketches?
Nope, you are asleep.
Okay.
This is while you are sleeping.
Okay.
But if you had lips, a word would utter from your lips at this moment, Rune. It's as if you are calling her name. Arya. The first real clue in quite some time. And it only just dawned on you, now that you realize that you mutter in another language from time to time. Who is she? Why? She's beautiful. It's almost like your heart sinks in sadness.
Rune's aperture eyes look up into the sky. Is it truly better not?
Is it truly better not to know? And I think that's where we're going to leave the session for tonight.
This was a fun session.
I'm glad. Glad y'all enjoyed.
Dragon!
Dragon.
Hail dragon.
Oh.
Yeah,
I'm very happy you got to today.
I'm glad I at least got to listen in for the most part.
Yes.
Got to roll a few dice, so that's good.
Yeah. You still get experience for coming to the table.
Yeah.
So yeah. That does mean that everybody gets their 5 for showing up today.
Woohoo!
Everybody Everybody gets 2 for finding a new job that they could actually get. You haven't completed the job yet, but you have found a job. And now we're going to talk about some of the things that are RP related, based on who moved a plot, who had the best scene, and who had the best line. So, who pushed us towards our plot today?
I'm gonna have to give that one to Lagan, personally.
Yeah.
And being the
You
go-to
found
man.
the job.
Where's the board, man?
It's true. It's true. The little mini plot is that you wanted a job, so
Yep.
Lagan.
I could also vie in for River pushing the tournament plot
Oh, yeah.
because he
Yeah.
He did offer some distractions.
he did the barkeeper.
Did earn some money. So money was kind of the big pushing forward today.
Lots of money.
Lots of money.
Yeah.
This is rude.
So it's Lagan or River who's voting which.
I'm going Lagan.
Lagan.
I'm gonna just say I'm gonna say River. River gave me a toy cat, and
Oh, that's yes, it's so adorable. You're the deciding factor.
That's
Woden.
pushing my plot. I got a cat.
I'm gonna vote for River.
Oh. What you think, Woden, Spectre?
I'm on.
All seem good.
Oh, Spectre's on the Lagan train. Okay.
Yep.
And I'll just abstain unless you need me to roll a die for a tiebreaker.
I would
Well,
say I think
you-
it comes down to you.
It's either you roll the dice or I roll the dice.
Somebody's rolling dice.
That's
Uh,
dangerous.
River is odds then.
River's odds, Lagan evens.
All right.
On.
Lagan it is. All right. Who had the best scene of tonight? Whether it's funny, tragic, haunting. What do y'all think?
I kind of want to give that
Was
to
it-
Rune for that last
Yeah.
scene.
Rune, whoever, I admit, Fogbrain. I don't know who instigated the quantum conversation. Yeah, I vote Rune.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it was a mix of Rune and Darius.
Mm-hmm.
But I did. I don't know. I'm also room for the quantum mechanics. So for best line, because that was awesome. That made me
Yeah.
chuckle. So I would go Darius, or Rune, but I would also do Rune for best line. So I'd maybe say Darius for.
I would say Rune for best scene because I think Darius's best line was when a mommy gold and daddy gold.
Now, to be
Enjoy
fair,
the line.
Was that in
that was
character
out
or
of
out
character.
of character?
That was out of
No.
character because all of that
No.
was going on inside Lagan's head. He didn't say anything out loud. He just looked down at his pouch. He's nowhere near y'all. He's paying for the horses or the mules to be stabled while we're in town and looking for this job, and realizes that his money has doubled. Nobody else was around. Nobody else
True.
was with him when he
Yeah.
did that.
I would say, I mean, I could see scene and line going either way because I think I would throw in for line Darius is bigger on the inside? Question mark.
I mean, I'm happy
Also-
with,
Well, let's turn
with
on best
one.
scene so that we're
Yeah,
not
yeah.
getting off track here. But so we kind of.
I mean,
Going-
I think the best scene definitely is Rune and Darius. As to which one actually gets it, I have no clue. Because I think it was a good combination
Damn,
of
it's
yes
both
and
together.
from both people.
Because I really want to level 3 so I can get that sweet heavy armor proficiency. I'm gonna vote for myself.
Okay. What you think, Raven, Darkwolf?
I'm giving it to Rune.
Yeah, give it to Rune.
Rune it is. Get that best scene.
Yay!
And our best line.
That one I'll give to.
I'm still Rune for
Darius.
quantum mechanics.
Darius, the whole I'm lazy thing.
Yeah, I'd say Darius.
Just admits it.
Darius.
He just admits it. Alright, I think that's majority Darius.
Hoot hoot.
I am level 3.
Darius is lazy.
Yay.
Hmm.
So am I.
I think most everybody
Uh,
dings level 3 at this long rest. Yep.
Nope.
Yep, I have
That's
become
me.
3 level.
Ooh. Is the only
still
person who
have-
hasn't dinged 3 is Darius?
Yep.
Nope,
I still
I
have.
have- I haven't done.
Oh, okay. Darius and Rune. But most everybody's level 3, which is good because I have no idea how it is I'm going to balance encounters for all of you anymore.
I mean, I was
Just
still,
buff
still-
Just buff up the not the AC, the HP
That's an
of
8.
whatever you're throwing at us.
Mhm.
like
Yes.
I don't know. A Griffin is not fun at level 2. But there was plural used.
Griffin or Griffin or Griffins.
There is also 7
So-
of you, so
That seems
it's
like-
kind of hard to
Yeah.
balance sometimes.
Yeah, but like they fly and they're large. If you can ride large things, why couldn't large things pick you up? I do not like big flying things. Because I think all of us are susceptible to gravity.
Unless you're
Gravity is
Cypher.
a thing.
Unless you're Professor Cypher.
Gravitation.
I'm sure
I mean,
there's
he
a
was still
spell somewhere that deals with gravity.
susceptible. He just did it in the wrong way.
Yeah, you got to meet Cypher to learn those.
Yep.
Do we have any wizards with featherfall?
No.
No.
You're about to have an art that has
An
and
artificer?
a jetpack.
Yeah. You have an artificer.
Yeah.
I got
Who's-
fairy fire.
He's pretty much a wizard.
Oceans of feather fall, I think.
Yeah, I think there's also rings. That's just as a
Yeah.
player. I don't think Shay has fuck all idea
Mm-mm.
about magic.
The only person who
Yeah.
might have a fuck all idea about any of that would be Ruden.
Nope. I am just
Ooh.
Griffins they might not have a ton of hit points, but plural can be a problem. And I only know this
But
because
I
I
get
had
Earthbind.
it all
Doesn't
it
matter
all
if you're
depends
flying.
all depends on the dice.
All depends on the
had
dice.
had a party at level 6 of 5 people, and Griffins almost ruined their day
Oh no.
Oh God.
because
Those poor
they
things.
because they fly. They were out in the plains. They could just fly, dive down, pick people up. Dice were terrible.
This is
It
going to
was-
be
it
in
was-
mountainous terrain too, so, you know.
Yeah.
Taking
Falls
this-
from heights
They
are
they get
nasty.
they get to fly at 80 feet
I'll be
per
right back.
turn, 160 if they dash, and we are stuck at 15 with difficult terrain.
I get Earthbind though.
There is
I can make them stay on the ground.
Is that concentration?
Up to a minute, yes.
Okay, so you can do it for 1.
Well, we
Like I
have
said,
another
it's
druid.
it's the plural. It's the plural that worries me.
There's mention that there has been plural, but if you would like to just try and find one, I will give you the options to try and find one.
I love a challenge. Bring the risk of death. Plural is fine.
Yes.
I'm saving my inspiration specifically for this fight, so.
Right.
I mean, that's
Oh,
why it's
we'll
worth 100
be
gold too.
Fine.
Also, Lagan, I'm not sure, like, Shay is even... I mean, Shay is nervous in general, but Lagan seems perfectly comfortable and perfectly confident, Griffin is mentioned. So, I don't think she's concerned about finding just one, unless Lagan is.
No, Lagan grew up in the mountains. Lagan is aware of a lot of these creatures. Maybe not specifically griffins, but yeah.
But
Bears and things
definitely
like
big
that.
bears and eagles and everything
Yeah.
else.
Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
cougars are an Ionia thing.
Yeah, he's
You're not seeing
familiar with
actual
mountainous
beast that
creatures.
should
And,
be able to solve that peacefully.
Well, so long as you have beast speech turned on, right?
Oh, griffins are monstrosities, though.
They are. Yep.
yeah,
Yeah, well, I was talking more like the lions and tigers and bears.
Oh no,
Oh,
yeah.
We
Speak
could
with
make
animal and animal friendship, but they both
We
don't
got
rely
what?
on people.
two druids and a ranger. Yeah.
Yep.
Go make friends, guys. Like
Make some animal friends.
animal friends. Yep.
Yeah.
Make some animal friends.
I get another spell.
Ew.
Lions and tigers, owl bears. Oh my.
Oh my. Yes, sadly, I don't have any owlbear figures, so I would have to use stand-ins. Charcoal crit or Coral Trickster, thank you so much for lurking and coming to the cat cafe. Appreciate
CoffeeCat,
it.
commission me. I love painting owlbears.
I
I love owl bears so much.
If I had
They're so fun to paint.
if I had some in my box, I would ask you to paint them, but I don't have any in my box, sadly. So.
I'll tell Matt to throw some in capsules.
But
Yay!
yeah,
I get 2
much
second level spells.
woo!
I'm just
Speaking of,
trying-
I know I said it on our secret super chat room, but I love the meme Matt put in there.
It's so good.
So good.
Also, Maddie
So
says
good.
that the owl bears are out of stock at this distributor. That sucks.
Oh no!
Oh no.
That's not right. Oh god, I just dropped a caltrop.
Well, I know what I'm looking for when it comes to what I'm looking for 3D prints coming up. So.
Were you giving inspiration to anyone? Because some of us actually use them.
I'm looking over what it is. Let's see. We didn't have any Fickle God's favors today, did we? I don't think we did. Sure.
I don't know. Are we
Awarded,
still?
no. I was gonna say, you said as a fickle god, you were giving me a bonus to.
Yes, you did receive a bonus
sorry about
because of the natural 20.
Yeah.
I already did that.
Yeah, no, I know.
Oh, damn it! I forgot to start the poll for the audience
How
vote.
could you?
How am I-
Coffee.
I'm so dumb.
Kiss, kiss.
5-minute poll. Here you go. Exclamation point vote and the character
Alright,
name
well-
as you see them on the screen. So.
Because I gotta get going. Matt's on his way to get me. So,
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Okay.
so I just want to know if I need to add anything to my list.
No, I think I'm gonna hold off for now. Give you guys some options to be creative in your in the presumed fight to come. So
I am really hoping to be clean and clear by next week, cause
Woohoo.
the love of D&D has me wanting to do and say things, and then I go to get my voice, and my voice is like, "You funny," and my brain is like, "You funny."
also,
So,
Radagast,
I-
if you're voting for Vanya, use exclamation point vote and type in her name.
I don't know why you're voting for me. I didn't do much today.
Play
I appreciate the
music.
love. Don't get me wrong.
Bye
but-
bye, everyone.
Bye. See you later,
Good
Dark
night.
Wolf.
I will.
Bye.
I will.
Bye.
I will let you know if it is you who wins. But yeah,
Oh man,
much
there were
appreciated.
so many little RP moments.
I love them. I love them so much. I half expected to already be at the Griffin by now, but you know what? I'm okay with it. It's fine. I'm okay with you. I'm okay with it taking a little bit more time for us to get there because I have extra plans for when you guys get across the mountains. So
I mean, I don't mind it. I can't wait to be bright and bushy-eyed for next week.
yes, yes.
I
We
was informed
appreciate
this game would be a slow burn, and that's what I expected.
Mm-hmm.
That they would start this.
I'm just along for the ride.
Wherever you guys go, it's your story to tell. So I am just the stage setter. I am just the NPCs. That is all that I am. Whatever it is that you guys want to explore, that's on you.
Cool.
I want to explore everything.
Of course you do.
Yeah, that's the problem. Everything.
Well, you can do so, and so I'm not trying to railroad or anything. I'm just giving you suggestions on what plot hooks to follow.
don't-
So
I don't feel railroaded at all.
good. Because I don't want you guys to feel like that. Because I don't want to be that railroady kind of guy. I just want to sprinkle things in, and whatever it is that you hook onto is what you hook onto, and I will make adjustments as I need to. Improvisation, fellas.
Here, here.
2 minutes left on the poll, y'all.
And I wanted to clarify something for Spectre. What Lagan was saying is he wasn't trying to say that knowing is worse than not knowing. He doesn't know what it's like not to know his past. There are some that it's a bit fuzzy, but what he does remember is extremely troubling of his, especially early past.
Oh
What led
no.
him to join the crew.
As a player, I understand that. Rune doesn't. One of his one
So
of the
Rune's
top
assume he meant it's more troubling to know than not know.
Yeah, for Rune, how do I best describe it? One of his major flaws is that he has a really hard time sizing people's motives or a lot of what they have to say. To him, he's kind of like self-centered in that way, where like anything that has to do with the world has to make a logical sense and has to be within like right within his vision of logic.
I
So
get it.
he's not going to understand unseen motives or anything like that. He only understands what he sees.
Right. No, I get that. Lagan's not hiding anything. He just sometimes knowing is just as bad as not knowing. That was all he was saying.
Yeah, I get that.
I get that Rune can't understand that. But Rune is a very logical person, and yeah, Lagan is it's not about logic. Divinity has no logic to it.
Nope. It does what it do. 5 seconds on the poll.
Well, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and sign off, make myself another cup of honey tea, and then probably go get some rest.
Rest
All
well.
right, Vanya, you win
Night.
that vote. You win the audience
Yay.
favorite.
Alright,
Thank
have a
you.
good night, everybody.
Good night,
night.
pal.
Get lots of rest.
Can feel
I
better.
will.
better.
Thank you. The
Yes.
same to everybody else who's been feeling crappy.
Right. Everybody feel better. I command it.
Good
No.
night.
Good night, DM.
We should
You don't
bring
have the
that
spell slots for that? Sorry.
Sorry. Oh well. Well, maybe better like next time. But yes, thank you guys all for swinging by and watching us here at CoffeeCat Presents for Rebirth Session 6. I will be uploading yesterday's VOD for VTM and today's VOD for Rebirth tonight so that I can have those posted tomorrow. That way you all can, if you missed something, be able to check back on YouTube and be able to watch those with hopefully very little interruption, because Twitch has decided to do all sorts of interrupting ads. But
Oh no.
7 tonight. 7.
Yes,
In a row.
Yes, in order for me to get any decent ad revenue, it does have to be that high. So
I get it, but
yeah,
ugh,
but I don't monetize on YouTube because I'm not eligible for one, and for two, I don't think I would anyway. So that's you guys can all check that out on YouTube, because we do have a YouTube link for that. But yeah, anybody got something fun that they're doing this weekend, or something on Twitch that they're doing?
not on Twitch, but I'm starting a new campaign, playing in a new campaign. We're running Dungeons of Dragonheim.
Ooh,
Nice.
So,
Well, aside from
Be
the
very
usual
interesting.
Dead by Daylight on my end,
mhm.
there's just the Edmonton game on Sunday. So
Oh, okay. Are you doing any more? Dead by Daylight this week?
yeah, tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Go
yeah,
check
I
out
might
Raven.
go back to Killer Games tomorrow. I
Ooh.
don't know yet.
Yeah, definitely give Ravenstar a little bit of love, because she is a great cast member, and we appreciate the time that she spends as here with us here at the CoffeeCat Presents. So go and follow her, because she's got the cute skeleton heart emotes, and her Dead by Daylight streams could use a little bit more love. Let's be honest. So give her all of the follows. Watch her when she goes live. She's usually posting in our Discord, so definitely check out Discord. which I'll post a link on there too. But yeah, that about does it for us. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys next time. Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Night night.